Welcome back to Midday. We are joined by JP Lancaster, and this is Frank. Frank's joining us as well, and then the lovely Susan Edgell.
Hello.
After all, this is Susan's show, so of course we're having her on as a guest.
Yay!
From Red Collar Brewing, you guys, thanks for being here. And Susan's sort of our little tester here because I can't drink right now, so.
Yeah, it was really hard to get you up here, right?
You know what?
Yeah, this is a hard day.
Yeah,
hard
I felt
day
pretty
for you.
forced into this.
Yeah.
But here I am.
She was kicking and screaming, but
Friday of a long weekend.
Right?
Why wouldn't she want to do
I still have
this?
to do the 5 o'clock news though, so I better just take it easy.
Yeah, that's right.
No chugging.
ease into it though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what'd you guys bring in today? What
Well,
are we? What craft
so
beers are we looking at?
that works out well for you. The first one I was going to talk about is our Radler. So something, that's a word that's becoming more popular in the beer circles. Radler, to the best of my knowledge, translates to cyclist in German. And so basically the idea, people who want to have a refreshing beer but don't want to get totally plowed. And so
That's Susan today.
yeah, so if you got to go to work, you're thirsty and you want a little something.
Or if you're at work.
Or if you're on the job and your
That's
boss
true,
is
yeah.
watching.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of in that boat right now.
Yeah.
But so historically, a Radler was part beer and then part lemonade.
Okay.
So
Ooh,
you would
fun.
absolutely, yeah. So you cut the alcohol
This is hard
percentage.
already.
I'm
I know.
sorry, Tanya.
I should just leave.
Well, it gets better from there. So it's a 2.5% beer.
Whoa.
So it's made just like a regular beer. So we don't blend it. We brew it with fruit.
Okay.
So it's still got malted barley, hops, water, yeast, and all that. But then we put black currants in on the front side of it. So when we boiled it and in the fermenter. And then as it went over to our conditioning tanks, we put grapefruit in.
So would it be sweet?
You'll have to get Susie.
Susan
She'll
will
ghost
help.
taste. But sorry, Frank.
Okay.
It's a little bit more on the tart side.
Okay.
This particular one.
Is that
but
because of the grapefruit, maybe?
Probably,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love
so
it
you
that
got
it comes
It
in the
looks
little
like
mini
juice.
growlers. Look at the mini growlers.
Yeah,
So
so
it basically tastes like juice.
Yeah.
So this one is draft only for the time being, but you can see,
yeah.
the fruit, particularly the black currant, really imparts a lot to the color.
Thanks, JP.
My pleasure. But yeah, so the idea again, it's, and you'll notice like there's very little beer characteristic to it. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's
Tanya,
okay.
Sorry.
Cheers.
Cheers to our
Don't
GM.
apologize, you guys.
Rod Tween's watching, Doug Collins.
yeah.
This is 2.5%.
It's all
just want
right.
everybody to know.
Yeah,
In
so it's
December,
basically water.
I'll be able to join you.
That is good, and it's not too sweet. In fact, I wouldn't call it sweet at all.
Is it tart?
It's tart. It has that black curranty finish on it.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
But almost like a cider more so, right?
But almost like, yeah, but not sweet like a cider at all. More of a Strongbow-esque.
fair, yeah, with like
Right?
that dry kind of
Yes.
finish.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the idea, especially on a day like today, if you're out mowing the lawn or doing chores or like a news anchor or maybe work at the brewery,
If you're a news
and you're
anchor.
like, I really need that drink, here it is.
Yeah.
So
There we go.
keep you out of trouble.
I thoroughly
So we
enjoy
could
that.
keep this in the fridge at work and it wouldn't be an issue.
No, 2.5%. Like that's really.
I think you could even get away with it. There's probably
Maybe.
some. Yeah.
Maybe closer to the day the baby's born.
Fair enough.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm sure you'll be ready for other things by that point.
I think so, yeah. All right, what else do you got?
So the other one I brought is it's another fruit beer. It will be available in bottles. We'll probably have it at the marketplace next week or the week after, so at all the craft-focused liquor stores in town. But it's an Apricot Sour. So I think the last time I was on, we talked about our cherry sour. So this beer, it's the same concept as the Radler, except for it's higher in alcohol. But you're going to get those tart flavors again. And so obviously we used a blend of local Kamloops fruit as well as puree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so same thing, it went into the boil and into the fermenter, and so it imparts a totally different color. And then the big thing that differentiates this beer from the Radler is the use of lactobacillus, which is most commonly associated with yogurt. It's a probiotic.
Hey, we're getting a probiotics.
Wow.
in.
Yeah, it's good for
See,
you.
these are healthy.
Beers.
They've
so-
got fruit in them.
Yeah, it's good for your digest.
Probiotics.
To be fair, so the way it works is we use a lactobacillus culture before it becomes beer. And so what it'll do is it'll acidify the beer slightly. You then boil to sterilize it and put your yeast in. So there isn't any lactobacillus in this, but it just
Okay.
gives it that tart flavor. And then paired with the apricots, which
Okay.
are quite tart in their own right.
Frank, what do you think this one?
This is one of my favorites that
Is
we
it?
probably brew all year. So I've been
Is
looking
it?
forward to it for quite a few months.
All right,
but
cheers again.
These beers that are incorporating juice, or
It's
sorry,
all the rage,
fruit, I
right?
should say, that kind of seem a little bit more like juice,
Yep.
seem to be really popular.
Absolutely. I
Nice.
mean, historically,
Good.
those have
Good.
been in Europe. These styles have existed for centuries.
They're just kind of making their way over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like we're kind of breaking the mold in North America.
I can smell that, sorry.
Can
it
you?
smells delicious, like apricots.
Yeah, absolutely, and
It's
that's.
a very nice summer drink. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're still breaking, you know, like the big beer companies, you know, for the longest time we're saying like a light lager is the only style of beer.
Right.
And we're just kind of getting back into, you know, beer is like literally all the colors
Right.
in the rainbow.
Right.
You can do so much with
Oh,
it.
sure.
What was the alcohol content on this?
5.5.
Yeah.
Okay, so stronger.
Yeah, a bit strong.
It's
I'm
strong,
going
but
to
it's
smell it. I'm
reasonable.
not drinking it, people.
We know.
Oh, it does smell like apricots.
Isn't that
Like
nice?
barely like beer at all.
And I love that you're incorporating some local fruit into it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's,
Yeah, we have to,
that's
right?
nice.
Yeah,
Very cool.
we partnered with the Gleaning Society. So I mean, it's crazy.
Oh, do you?
You go around
Okay.
town, and I haven't seen this much fruit in years. Like it seems like you know, there's just a massive glut of it. So they're more than happy to get us
So
some.
probably nice that these fruitier beers are the rage.
Totally,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So,
Good
so it's
timing
not
almost.
going to waste.
Yeah.
Totally.
But yeah, just another local spin. So our label, Frank does all our design work at Red Collar. And maybe you want to speak a bit to this design
This
here.
particular one, we kind of did a little bit departure off our regular brand. So if you can see here,
Yeah.
they kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
all
they
the
have little
fruits, they have like these like
faces.
funny little faces on them.
That's really, really
So that
creative.
was our good friend and our old coworker, Olivia Campbell. She
That's
did up
awesome.
all the watercolor paintings.
Nice.
And so they were a nice addition to our labels for sure.
Yeah, and
Fantastic.
just to have that handmade touch.
Totally.
You know,
Yeah.
We wanted
have-
something like fun and
You guys are awesome.
Well, it's-
And Susan, thank you for being
You're
on the
welcome.
show.
You're welcome. I'm going to see you at the end because Linda Coles is on as well.
Yes.
I think
So-
she's got some nice
Susan's
stuff as
coming
well.
back.
You know what?
for another
It's a
taste.
Feel Good Friday, Tanya.
right,
You
yeah.
know what? I'm drinking for two, for you and for me.
That's what I kept
What's
saying
going on
yesterday.
here?
That's my new thing.
No, isn't it for
Susan's
3?
drinking for 2.
It's for 3.
If she's
Yeah,
not
for
on the
3.
5 o'clock news
2.5.
tonight, you'll know why.
I'll be there, don't worry.
Thanks, guys, for
Thank you.
being here.
Thank
We'll
you.
be right back in a couple of minutes. Stay with us.